To react to this, we're joined by the Director, Sterling Center for Law, Deji Ajare, and former Lagos Coordinator, Take It Back Movement, Ayo Oni. Gentlemen, it's nice to have you around on the news.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming around. Now, it's 10 million naira for some NSAS protesters, according to the judgment. Is that a fair judgment? Let's say justice for those who feel that the rights have been infringed upon?
Well, it is not justice. We have to be very careful on what we call justice in this country. The people of Nigeria have not gotten justice in many of the issues, human rights abuses that they have faced for years. But a judgment has been passed, and it can be, in a way, stated fair. That is, if there's proper implementation of that judgment. Because in time past, there have been judgments similar to this on human rights abuses and protests and all that have been filed against the police to pay damages, and they have refused to pay. I can give examples, So, but are we going to call it justice? No. What will be justice is if those police officers are brought to book, moved from the police force because they have no temperament or professionalism to be police officers, in this country, and the CP also and the task force head that mobilize that action against the people also punished according to the law. Yes, then we can call it justice. But it's a judgment, and it's fair if there's proper implementation of the judgment.
But then, Ayo, the government and, of course, the Nigerian police at some point had argued that there was no violation of rights during the memorial rally. So are you saying that this is living in glaring denial?
Well, you cannot deny what their factual evidence of. I myself was a victim of the abuse of the police in 2021. And while the abuse, there's human rights abuses all around the country on protests and other issues, there's always an extra abuse when it comes to the NSAS, especially at Lekki Tollgate, and these are the evidence rather, that the lawyer, Barrister Kute Joseph, took to the court of law and won the case. So if the police officers are officers of the law under the judicial system and the entire criminal justice system coming out to say, they have not violated any rights, then they must be spitting at the face of the judges, So there was clear evidence. I myself was one of the people that filed the brief and gathered the evidence to the lawyers, to file this case. So there are people that were even sexually harassed, molested, beaten, and thrown into, a Black Maria just because they were on the street protesting. So there are clear evidence of violation of rights, and the police cannot deny it. In nowhere should they deny it.
Okay, let's look at it from this angle. Is it a skewed perception that law enforcement agencies could be excessive most times, or maybe they are just exerting the rule of engagement in de-escalating a possible crisis?
So you tell me crisis. I'll give you an example. There was an election in Lagos about 2 weeks ago, and there were crises of thuggery, there was crisis of multiple voting. The police, they were not interested in de-escalating it or stopping it. Some of them were there collecting the bribe and they're monitoring and making sure that was done, But when 20 people marching, 50 people is marching, not carrying stick, talk less of guns or broom, and you are attacking and beating them. So what are you de-escalating? So it's not about rules of engagement or anything. It's about a police system, a police force that has been prompted by the government to make sure that the protests don't see the light of day. And it's not just on the NSAS protest alone. Very other protests that have happened in this country, revolution now in 2019, 2020, there were also court cases that were won against them. In those cases, to pay millions, or 50 million, or 5 million in Abuja and Lagos, they have not paid that money to date. So we have a police system in our hands that do not care about the people, that do not like the people, that work for the people in power, and their method is oppression. I tell you that I myself, personally in 2021, I was tortured, I was brutalized, I was dumped into a Black Maria, thrown into a toilet prison. You know why? Because I was at Lekki Toll Gate protesting. So it is their culture, it is their habit, it is their character. And that is why we are challenging it, as
Now, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so before I let you go, someone will say that it's a general law that the police would use force, weapon, tear gas, in some cases, even live canisters to disperse protesters when they feel that there's an aggression brewing or a situation whereby stability could be, or peace could be destabilized in certain climes. But then if it is universal, so to speak, one would want to excuse the use of that kind of approach to stop people from constituting a challenge in public spaces, don't you think?
Not at all. If there are rules of engagement and they are not updated about it, they should go and get updated. Media men are always on ground. You have the footage of protest. The one in 2024, which this case was won, there were two protests. The first people marched, Take Back Movement group marched from Lekki Peninsula towards the toll gate. They were not harmed, they were singing and they were shouting. And the police descended on them. After doing the first descending, attacking them, running after them, pursuing them like they were criminals. The second group, which came with a bus, immediately they got down, they have not spent 5 minutes. And the toll gate, they also decided upon to attack people just because they are marching and they are singing and demanding for the right of the NSAS, protesters and everybody in the country. So if you look at the protests that have happened over the years, it has been the culture of the police to calm down on protest. They go to court, you get judgment to stop people from protesting, even without you knowing that your name has been sent to court. So what we have, and what Nigerians need to note, is that we do not have a police system that works for the people. The reason why some of us can protest today is because we have put our feet on the ground and say, no, you are not going to take a right from us in our country. If not, they do not want to see anybody on the street. They want people to be dying, they want people to be suffering and just be in their house holding their tummy and crying. But Nigerians are not going to surrender the street to this brutality. So we have a failed police system, and shame once again on the former CP that executed this action against the people.
Okay, so finally, beyond compensations and seeking justice, is there a way that you feel citizens, of course, government and security personnel can maintain decorum during protests? Is there a way?
Yes, there's a way. We will continue to teach them, but the problem is, can they implement it? I'm very sorry to disappoint Nigerians. This particular government cannot. This particular police system cannot, because we don't have the right leaders, and the right leaders can definitely not appoint the right people, to manage the police affairs. We have police that are underpaid, we have police that are hungry, we have police that are hungry themselves, hungry people with weapons. So when there's time for protest, they pay them some peanuts and they are so happy to dislodge everybody. We have police that are untrained. So basically, we have a time bomb in our hand. That's what the Nigerian police force is. But what's the process? It's very simple. When there's a protest, it is your right as police officers to be there to safeguard the people, and to not only safeguard the people, defend their rights. Defend their rights. There's a judgment on that, saying that they're supposed to even make sure that human rights are protected when they are in any peaceful protest. So what are you going to do? You watch the people, you control the people, you watch over them. When you see thugs coming to dislodge them, you go after the thugs and arrest them. But they don't do that. They will even will take thugs to arrest you. I've faced that regularly, So it's very simple. And you have proper equipment. You have your shield in case people are going violent. You have your water cannons or sticks in case people are going violent. I've been shot out at protests. I've been tear gassed at protests. So these are the things to do. When it is violent and there's clear case of violence or weapons or anything, you go there and arrest those people doing that.
Okay.
When people are just marching with banners and placards and you are tear gassing them, and that's against the rules of engagement, and the Nigerian police have no idea how to manage the protest.
Okay, Ayo, New Lagos State Coordinator, Take It Back Movement, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you for having me.